How to heal from childhood trauma. What happened to you as a child was not your fault. What you do with it as an adult is entirely your responsibility. That is not cruelty. That is the most liberating truth you will ever hear. What happened to you as a child was not your fault. What you do with it as an adult is. That is not cruelty. That is the most liberating truth about trauma that anyone will ever tell you. Because the moment you accept responsibility for your healing, not for what caused the wound, but for what happens next, everything changes to childhood. Trauma is one of the most searched topics on the internet because millions of people are walking around carrying wounds from childhoods that did not give them what they needed. Neglect, abandonment, abuse, instability, homes where love was conditional or absent, parents who were themselves too broken to give what their children needed. These are real wounds. They deserve to be named. But here is what nobody tells you. The wound is not the final word. What you build on top of it, the character forged in spite of it, the strength developed because of it, the person you choose to become in response to it, that is the final word. And that is entirely in your hands. Counterintuitive truth. Some of the most extraordinary people alive were built by the hardest childhoods, not despite the difficulty, because of what they chose to do with it. Before we talk about healing, let's name what trauma actually does. Because you cannot heal what you cannot see clearly. What childhood? Trauma does name it to heal it. It becomes your default setting. The nervous system trained in childhood becomes the nervous system you carry into adulthood. The hypervigilance, the people-pleasing, the difficulty trusting, the flinching at raised voices, the anxiety that arrives before the threat. These are not character flaws. They are survival responses learned in environments where they were necessary. The problem is they follow you into environments where they are not. It shapes how you see yourself. The child who was told they were not enough believed it. The child who was ignored concluded they were not worth noticing. The child who was hurt by the people who were supposed to protect them learned that love and pain come together. These beliefs formed in childhood, carried into adulthood, quietly run the show. Making decisions, choosing relationships, limiting possibilities, until they are named and challenged. It gets passed on unless you break the chain. Unhealed trauma does not stay contained. It leaks into relationships, into parenting, into the way you respond to stress and conflict. The parent who was not held cannot easily hold. The person who was not shown healthy love struggles to model it. The chain continues until someone in the family line decides to do the hard work of breaking it. That person can be you. It also builds strength you don't recognize. The hardest childhoods often produce the most resilient adults. The empathy that comes from having suffered, the strength built from surviving what should not have been survived, the deep understanding of human pain that makes some people extraordinary leaders, healers, parents, and friends. The wound and the gift are often the same thing, seen from different angles. Men are disturbed not by things, but by their opinions about things. Epictetus is the Stoic who speaks most directly to childhood trauma because he lived it. Born into slavery, subjected to physical violence, given no choice about his circumstances for the first half of his life. And yet he built a philosophy centered entirely on this truth. What happened to you is not up to you. Your response to what happened to you is. That distinction between the wound and the response is the foundation of every healing that has ever happened. Make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. Marcus Aurelius. Sacrifice yourself to the present. named his circumstances clearly. He did not pretend slavery was acceptable. He did not minimize what had been done to him. He named it and then made the radical choice about what it would and would not take from him. That sequence, honest naming followed by deliberate choice, is available to you right now. First, say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. 2. Separate the past from your identity. What happened to you is not who you are. The neglect is not your nature. The abandonment is not your worth. The abuse is not your value. These things happen to you, they are not you. The most important work of healing is learning to make that distinction clearly and consistently, especially on the days when the wound speaks loudest and says otherwise. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not over what happened, over how you interpret it, over what meaning you give it, over what identity you build from it." The child who was told they were worthless gets to decide as an adult, with full awareness whether that verdict stands. It does not have to. It never did. The verdict of a broken past does not have the final word on who you become. The first rule is to keep an untroubled spirit. The second is to look things in the face and know them for what they are. 3. Break the chain, become what you needed. The most powerful act of healing from childhood trauma is becoming for someone else what you never had. The parent who was not held becoming the parent who holds. The person who was not shown love becoming the person who shows it. The adult who had no safe person becoming someone else's safe person. This is not just healing, it is transformation, and it is the most profound thing a human being can do with their pain. Faith calls this redemption the making of something purposeful from something painful. The wound does not disappear, but it stops being just a wound. It becomes the source of your empathy, your understanding, your capacity to see pain in others and respond with genuine compassion. You become the chain breaker, and that changes not just your life, but the lives of everyone who comes after you. What injures the hive injures the bee. What happened to you as a child was not your fault, and what you do with it as an adult is the most important decision you will ever make. Epictetus was enslaved from birth and built the most celebrated philosophy in Rome. Marcus Aurelius lost his father at age 3 and became the most powerful man in the ancient world. Neither of them was defined by what they lost or what was done to them. They were defined by what they chose to build from it. You are not your trauma. You are not the verdict of your childhood. You are not the sum of what was done to you or what was withheld from you. You are what you choose to become in response to all of it. And that choice right now, today, with everything you carry, is yours. Completely and permanently yours. The chain stops with you. The healing starts with you. The story changes with you. You are not your past. Build from here. If this video found you, share it with someone who needs to hear it today. Subscribe for one video a week and drop a comment. What is one thing your difficult past built in you that you are grateful for? I read everyone. See you next week.